official. "Shut, right?" Monahan asked and smiled mysteriously. The M.E. didn't bother answering him. He snapped his satchel shut, got to his feet, and then walked into the living room, where Corella and Maya were still trying to get some answers from the baby's dazed parents. "We'll do the autopsy as soon as we can," he said, and then in explanation, "The holidays. Meanwhile, you can say one was stabbed and the other was smothered." "Thanks," Maya said. Corella nodded. He was remembering that years and years ago, whenever he got up in the middle of the night to feed the twins, he would hold one in his arms and prop the other's bottle on the pillow, alternated the routine at the next feeding, so that one of them would always be held. There was a dead baby in the bedroom at the far end of the hall. "Mrs. Harding," Maya said, "can you tell me what time you got back here to the apartment?" Gail Harding, blonde and blue-eyed, 28 years old, wearing eyeshadow to match the green gown, no lipstick, the dazed expression still on her face and in her eyes, looking at Maya blankly. I'm sorry?" 2:30, her husband said. Peter Harding, 32, straight brown hair combed to fall casually on his forehead, brown eyes, black bow tie slightly askew, face a pasty white, shell-shocked expression in his eyes, both of them walking wounded. Their baby daughter was dead. "Was the door locked?" Meyer asked. "Yes." "You had to use a key to get in?" "Yes. I was drunk. I fumbled with the lock a lot, but I finally got the door open." "Were the lights on or off?" "On." "When did you notice anything out of the ordinary?" "Well, not until Annie wasn't in the living room, you see, when we came in, so I called her name, and when I got no answer, I went to look for her. I figured she might be in with the baby, and didn't want to answer because she might wake up the baby." "What happened then?" "I started for the baby's room and found Annie there in the hallway, stabbed." "Could we have her last name, please?" "Annie Flynn." This from the woman, coming alive a bit, realizing that these men were detectives, here to help, had to give them what they needed. Corella wondered when she would start screaming. He wished he would not have to be here when she started screaming. "You've used her before?" Meyer asked. "This same sitter?" "Yes." "Pretty reliable?" "Oh, yes." "Ever any trouble with boyfriends or—" "No." "Never came home and found anyone with her, did you?" No. "Because kids?" "No." "Nobody she was necking with or—" "Never anything like that." All this from Harding, drunk as a lord when he had walked in, sober enough the next minute to be able to dial 911 and report a murder. Corella wondered why he'd felt it necessary to tell them he'd been drunk. "Excuse me, sir," Meyer asked, "but when did you learn that your daughter—" "I was the one who found her," Mrs. Harding said. There was a sudden silence. Someone in the kitchen laughed. The crime scene technicians were in there. One of them had probably just told a joke. "The pillow was on her face," Mrs. Harding said. Another silence. "I took it off her face. Her face was blue." The silence lengthened. Harding put his arm around his wife's shoulders. "I'm all right," she said, harshly, almost like, "Leave me alone, damn it." "You left the apartment at what time?" Meyer asked. 8:30. "To go to a party, you said?" "Yes." "Where was that?" "Just a few blocks from here on 12th and Grover." This from Harding. The woman was silent again, that same numb look on her face, reliving that second when she had lifted the pillow off her baby's face, playing that second over and over again on the movie screen of her mind.